Shalom, shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakal Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, GMS, who taught us well, and salutations to the brothers out there, to the elect brothers that's pushing this truth with sincerity. A quick topic that was, going through my mind recently, is how we live today as opposed to the time frame that we had, the time span we had in ancient times. Our ancestors lived for hundreds of years to the point where we at now, which is like roughly over 2 scores, maybe 3, which is 60 years. 1 score is 20 years, and the average Jake of today, they only go up to that high, like even less than that. You got a lot of people out here, croaking at 50, not even 60 sometimes. Like in the last 3 years, besides Corona, you have brothers checking out. A lot of, ailments without even having COVID, So the curses is upon our people, but the change is very different now. So, just to go back, during the times of Adam, Adam lived to be 930 years old. It says it right here in Genesis 5, chapter 5, verse 5. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. So 930 years is unthinkable to the human beings or the Israelites of today, man, of Jake or whoever, anybody. You might get somebody to live up to 100, but they look like, next to nothing, withered away, But when it come down to Jake, man, the curses be up there on us, Our bodies just beat down, man. Some of us abuse it, some of us don't, but still go through the curses like arthritis or, high blood pressure, what have you. So, to name a few of those ancient ages, man, I got another one for you. Methuselah, the father of Lamech, Noah's grandfather, He's mentioned, his age is mentioned in the Bible also. I think it's let me see. Is it Genesis 9:28? Let me check it. Yeah, these brothers was living for years and years, And the Lord gave us that ability, though. That's like a spiritual gift, man, to be able to live that long, Where it reads in Genesis 9 and is it 7 and 6? Let me get 7 and 6. That's Noah's age mentioned in 9. So for us, when we in the kingdom, it's like that ability is going to get back on us to live, but right now we going through it, But pretty much, let's just go on to Noah. I know Methuselah was mentioned to be like one of the oldest men in the Bible, to live the longest, meaning, But his grandson, that's Methuselah. Noah. Right here it says in Genesis 9:28, it reads, and Noah lived after the flood 350 years And all the days of Noah were 950 years. And then he died. See? So, Methuselah was Noah's grandfather, but Noah even lived to be 950 years old. Methuselah lived to be 969 years old. So those days of during that time in ancient history, man, 200, 300 years old ain't mean nothing to us. It was considered young, and we consider young 20, 18, young from 16, 17 to 21 is considered, young adult. But young adults to them was 100 years old. But the Lord said, you follow me and you shall not taste death at all. But Eve didn't listen. And what did he say about that in Genesis 2:17? Let's go to that. So it ain't like he just put death on us just out of for nothing. He had a reason for it. And it says in Genesis chapter 2, verse 17, it reads, "But the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in this day thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die." So that's why, still being hard-headed from the beginning of time. And Jake has been hard-headed ever since, You shall surely die, and that's why we've been dying. The dramatical change from how long it takes for us to die is growing increasingly, Where even in Psalms it speaks of shortening our time in the matter of, 1,000 years. We decrease our age dramatically, We went from living for hundreds of years to what it says in Psalms. Psalms 90. Let me get that. Psalms 90 and 10 reads, "The days of our years are 60 years and 10. And 60 years and 10 is roughly 70 years. Three scores is 60, and plus 10 years is 70 years. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, which is 80, by reason, you so happen to make it 80, it says, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away." So if you make it to 80, you damn near out of here, You skating on thin ice, one fall down the stairs or something and you might die, That's why people so delicate at that age of after 60. They consider you a senior citizen. So we went from hundreds of years to only roughly a little over 70 years, and that's your golden age. When we went from hundreds of years. So the Lord changed that whole gyroscope up to shorten the times, But that's not a bad thing, because spirit's gonna transfer anyway. But the thing about that is you got to think about how we was going off in the first place in order for us to be brought down to only roughly 80 years, from 930 and 969 and 950, all right, to now you down to 80 years. Moses, when he passed away, let me go to it. He was 120. But let's see what they say about Moses when he passed. He was 120, and nobody you know is 120 on this planet Earth, let alone Jake. But it's in Deuteronomy. Let's see what they say about when Moses died at 120. This is Deuteronomy 34:7. And it reads, and Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes was not dim, nor his natural force abated. Okay? So that's showing you that when he did die 120, he still had his strength and his sight, his power. The Lord just, it was his time to go, and the Lord took him. But when we die, people be dying of old age, man, they got everything going wrong with them in their bodies, man. In these days and times, But we know that when the Lord comes back and get Israel back together, straighten them out, it ain't going to be no age process. Like, you're not going to be aging. You could be 900 years old and still look like you was when you was 20 years old, So this is like the basis of the reason why I brought this out, because we dying now, and when you check out these younger kids, man, they die, 20, 15, 16 years old shooting each other up in these ghettos, But this is a process that we going through, So the closer we get to the end, shit, you might get like 8, 9-year-old kids shooting at each other. It just recently was a 13-year-old kid shooting at a 15-year-old kid shooting at a 13-year-old kid, and wound up hitting a 11-year-old girl, and the Lord took her out. She was an innocent bystander. So, the age rate is decreasing, not increasing. Lord willing, he speed up that time, and we be on our way out of here. But then you have men of the Lord that's in this world that's going to not see death. Like one of the ancient ones back in the Old Testament, Melchizedek. All right? Nobody know how he was taken out of here. And they didn't give no date on how old he was when he passed away. Why is that? Because he ascended without dying. You see that? There was no cause of death for Melchizedek. All right? And it says that in Hebrews. In Hebrews chapter 7 verse 3, it reads, without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like unto the son of Yahweh, made unto like Yahweh Shah, abideth a priest continually. All right, they speaking about Melchizedek right here. If you go up a verse, it says, for this Melchizedek, king of Salem, this is verse 1 of Hebrews 7. For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him. So he was a priest. All right? He was a priest. So they comparing him to Yahweh Shah, which is, possibly the reincarnation of Yahweh Shah, or the pre-carnation. Is like, but we believe in the reincarnation whole process, so Lord willing, we'll know, But, yeah, Melchizedek didn't see death, all right? Now, forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Joseph, man, they was in their hundreds too, man. Abraham was 175 when he passed. Isaac was 180, Jacob was 147, and Joseph was 110. They all have made mention of those times in the Bible, man. In Genesis 21, from 1 through 5, Abraham is mentioned of when he gave up the ghost. Isaac is mentioned in Genesis 35, 27 through 29. Jacob was mentioned of the time he died in Genesis 49, 29 through 33. And Joseph was mentioned in Genesis in chapter 50, verse 22 to 26. So, it's been recorded to let you know that these men had good old ages. Well, not as high as Methuselah and Adam and Noah, but it's well over the ages that we see in our future of living in the world that we living in today. With these fleshly bodies. They had fleshly bodies too, but they still live longer than us. They wasn't eating no GMO foods. They wasn't being killed at a high rate. But that's the Lord's will for us to go on a high rate with carcinogens that's in the meats that we eat and, all type of cancerous foods. So, hey, man, it's still the Lord's will, But one quick more verse before I close out, man. Because ultimately, I just want to edify the people on, knowing that we die. You can understand that there's a purpose for it, and there's a rate of the time how fast we deteriorate as we get closer to the end. So that's just to reassure you that we gotta be near the end, because look how long our time span is on this earth. It's cut short. You understand? It's cut very short compared to the days of old. Alright? So, before I close out, I just want to get a quick verse out of Matthew. And it reads, this is Matthew 10, verse 28. And it reads, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which shall be able to destroy both soul, body, in hell. Alright? So, the Lord is just putting it out there, man. Like, yo, you ain't gotta worry about what they could do to your body right now, but fear what the Lord do to you when he put his wrath on you. Because he could send you back, and send your ass right through something else even worse, and keep doing it, So you should be thankful that you ain't going through nothing like that, And if you do go out gracefully, just be thankful, and hopefully you dealing with this truth, so the Lord can spare you the suffering of having to do this all over again. All right. But for those who are the elect, Lord willing, there's going to be some elect who don't see death at all too in these last days. And I'm going to bring out another verse out of Matthew, which is Matthew 16 and 28, where it says, verily I say unto you, there will be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Alright? So, we got elders in this truth that, been around for the longest. Lord willing, they walk right into the system, Lord willing, but that's it, man. I just want to let y'all know, man, that it's, this time span that we on right now is a drastic change, and Lord willing, we be up out of here soon. And Lord willing, that was edifying. And until next time, say Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakar Kodash, Wada Aman, Shalom.